What's up guys and welcome. In my last video I completed my first 25 hours of flight and I'm here to share with you guys some of the mistakes I made in my short pilot career. Wow, I'm not doing too hot. And also I'm gonna share with you guys some tips to help you guys with your training. So buckle up, buttercups, because we're about to start. What the fuck was that, dude? I need some coffee. Oh my god. Let's fucking go. Alright, tip number one, slash mistake, because this is something that I did and this is what caused me to start my pilot career so late. And it is, you can pay for each individual class, like one at a time. Most of you must be like, oh yeah, of course you can. I wanted to be a pilot since I'm like 12. And when I was 24, that's when I knew that you can pay each class individually. So every time I call the flight school and I say, hey, how much is it? They were like, oh, it's $12,000. It depends how fast you can learn and whatever. As soon as I knew I could pay each class, I right away called the flight school and I asked them like, hey, can I pay one at a time? And they were like, yeah, of course. I felt the dumbest person alive. But hey, here we are. And that's the reason why I started making these videos, because I wanted to prevent people from making the same shit I did. Like I don't want that to happen to anyone. Like, that's the worst thing. Tip number two is gonna be finish your ground school. Finish it, please. Most of the questions that student pilot have when they're like flying or watching a YouTube video or just simply talking between pilots can be answered by you just finishing the ground school. I swear. There is so much information in whatever ground school you go to. Like, it can be online, it can be your instructor giving you like lessons and whatever. But everything from how the airplane flies to how to plan a cross-country flight, everything is in the ground school. How the airplanes fly, weather, components of the aircraft, everything is in the ground school. And it's so good to know before you jump in a plane, because you are so far ahead already after you just sit down and study, pretty much. Tip number three, fly regularly. I can't stress this enough. As soon as you stop flying, you start forgetting something. Little stuff. The things that you were about to be proficient at, you start forgetting about them. And that is the worst part, because in aviation, especially when you're a student pilot, time is money. As soon as you get to the flight school, as soon as you start that engine, it's money. And if your instructor can tell that you forgot how to do a slow flight, like you can even like, you know, getting the configuration, get it the speed to start doing a slow flight, he's gonna tell you again, okay, slow down, flaps, this is how you do it, pitch for speed, power for fucking altitude. And that is time that you could be like, oh, slow flight? Yeah, for sure. Boop, 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 boop. And you're done. You're doing a slow flight. He's like, pretty good, pretty good. I'm talking from personal experience, by the way. Because those $300 that you're gonna spend in that flight could have been like spent in something better, like preparing you for your check ride or going on a cross-country flight or something like that. But no, now you have to go back to the basics and do them all over again. Make sure you're back in track and then go back to it. You know what I'm saying? So please fly regularly. Tip number four, it's linked with tip number three, and it's have enough money to fly. It sounds redundant, it's pretty obvious, but you need the money so you can fly regularly. Sorry to tell you this in case you haven't noticed, but you're getting yourself into one of the most expensive careers you can imagine. This is extremely expensive. And as soon as you get your private license, that's when shit gets real. Like that's when you need to really start flying and get your other certifications and licenses. There's a bunch of ways that you can get the money. You can get scholarships. There's a bunch of scholarships, private loans. And for the third one, I want to say if you have a really good cash flow, you can at least schedule a class every week, which is gonna cost around $250 to $500, depending what you're gonna be doing with your instructor. Tip number five, in the first 25 hours of your student pilot training, you're not gonna need an iPad. So don't buy an iPad. This thing gets in the way. It's useless. Like it's so expensive too. Like you can get 2 flights out of this thing. Like how much this is gonna cost you, you can get 2 flights out of it. And that's more important than having one. Instead, please save yourself $600 and get one of these babies. Like this was like $20 and this is more useful than that. In my opinion, the only time that I think you're gonna need this is after you're a private pilot or when you start training in your cross-country flights. First of all, you need to keep it fully charged, because if you lose these, then you're done, pretty much. Okay, first of all. Second of all, in the first 25 hours of your pilot training, everything you're gonna be doing is writing down squad codes and altimeters. That's it. It's gonna be November 105 Delta, altimeter 2998. 2998. Squad code 1435. 1435. November 105 Delta, altimeter 2998. Squad code 1435. That's it. That's all you're doing. After that, it's game on. Do a power install. Do a power install. Slow flight. Go up. Go down. Slow down. You're going to have. It's everything. Everything is going on. So this thing. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm watching you. I'm talking to you. Don't fucking do it. Fuck. Also, besides the $600 for the version that doesn't even have GPS, you also need an ADS-B and you also need ForeFlight. So that's a shit ton of money. Save it. Thank you. Let's keep going. So for our next tip, it's not mandatory, but it's really good to do. And it's gonna be record your flights. Okay, first of all, disclaimer. Ask your flight school and ask your instructor if they're comfortable or you're allowed to do it. Some flight schools, they don't let you do it, or some instructors, they don't feel comfortable with it. But ask them and see if you can record or the video or the audio. Sometimes I go back just to remember, how do I ask for BFR flight following to approach, for example. And that was so useful. Like, I just have to go back to the video, pay attention to what I said, and just be ready for the next class and do the same thing. Say the exact same thing and I'm good to go. Last tip, change instructors. Don't be scared of changing instructors, because you never know if the other instructor is way better at teaching. You don't know if the other instructor is, you're gonna have a better chemistry with him. Chemistry, is that even a fucking word? Like relationship. Like, you don't know if he's gonna be a better dude than the instructor you have. It's great when you have a great instructor. It doesn't feel like a class. It feels like an experience. You guys are sharing like this much space between each other. Please make it be with someone that you really like. I've been with 5 different instructors and one has been better than the other, except for one. Well, kind of. I don't want to get personal with this because that instructor that I'm saying, he watches my videos. So, bonus point, ask fucking questions. I don't care how stupid those questions are. Ask everything. Any question you have, ask that motherfucker, because you're paying him or her to answer those questions and keep you safe. Okay? So, that'll be it for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Remember, commenting, liking, subscribing, that's up to you. See you guys in the next flight.